Most people think money works like this. You make money, you spend money, and if there's anything left over, you save it. But that mindset is keeping you broke, and let me show you why. Parkinson's law states that work will expand to fill the time allotted for its completion. So when we apply this to money, it means that our spending will naturally rise to match our income. And without even realizing it, you can end up living paycheck to paycheck even with a higher salary. Now, let me show you what the wealthy do. They make money, then they save and invest a portion of that money first, and then they live off of whatever is left. So in this video, I'm going to share with you how I've taken this concept and developed a paycheck routine that is making me a 9-to-5 millionaire. So I've mentioned this in another video, but my husband and I have made it a priority to save at least 30% of our income. And you might be wondering why, and it honestly starts with our mindset. If you want to be wealthy, you have to start thinking like the wealthy. So when I was broke, whenever I got money, it would burn a hole in my pocket. And I know that that's an old school saying, but it is true. Like the moment I got some money, the first thing I would think about is how can I spend this money? But here's the thing, wealthy people think very differently. So when they get money, they don't think about what they can buy. They think about how they can double their money. They think about what investments they can purchase in order to grow their wealth. Buying a Gucci belt or the latest tech gadget will not make you rich, but putting your money into an index fund will. So the wealthy save and invest before anything else. Now I get it, this might feel uncomfortable and it might even seem impossible with your current living expenses, but I strongly encourage you to do whatever it takes to make this a priority, because the reality is nobody's coming to save you, and if you don't prioritize your financial future, who will? That is why adopting the pay yourself first mentality is so important, because nobody should touch your money before you do. I mean, except for Uncle Sam, but what can you do about that? When you pay yourself first, you're setting your future self up for success. Let's break down the paycheck routine that is helping me build wealth and become a 9-to-5 millionaire. And to truly build wealth, you need to have a system. So here's how ours works. So the moment that paycheck hits our account, we immediately allocate a portion of it into our savings and investments. This could go into a high yield savings account, retirement accounts, brokerage accounts, or any other wealth building vehicles. This step is a non-negotiable, and we don't even think about spending until we've saved and invested our money. Once our savings and investments are taken care of, then we'll cover our essential expenses like our mortgage, our utilities, groceries, gas, things like that. The key here is we avoid all unnecessary spending and we know exactly where our money is going. And lastly, any money that's left over after our savings and investments and essential expenses goes to our discretionary spending like our entertainment, our eating out, and things like that. We do not live above our means. We only spend what's left over. And this may sound simple, but this is where most people go wrong, because they want more things that, they can't afford, and so they'll put it on a credit card. If this sounds like a new habit that you need to adopt, you're right. It's something that I had to learn too, especially since I wasn't always great with my money. The key to sticking with this is automation. So we set up an automatic transfer from our checking account to our savings and investment accounts each month. So we never miss our goals, and we know that our money is working for us without us even touching it. By following this routine, we are building our net worth every time we get paid, rather than spending it all and hoping for the best. So the consistency in this is what leads to financial freedom. Now you might be thinking, but I don't make a six-figure salary. How can I become a millionaire by using this routine? But the beauty of this routine is you don't need a massive income. You just need consistency and discipline. Let's say, for example, you're in your 20s or 30s and you make an average salary, and you invest just 15% of your income over the next 10 or 20 or 30 years. You would be shocked at how much money you accumulate. And how does this happen? Because of something called compound interest. So the more consistently you invest, the more your money will grow on its own. And in the beginning, it might feel slow, but just give it time and the growth really accelerates. So for example, if you invested just $500 a month into an index fund earning about 8% annually, and you did that for 25 years, you would have over $400,000. And that's without you increasing any of your investments. But let's say you did that for another 10 years, you you would have over $1 million. That's the power of compound interest, and it works in your favor when you save and invest first instead of spending first. This is how ordinary 9-to-5 workers become millionaires. It's not about being lucky. It's about making the right financial decisions every time you get paid. So this simple paycheck routine to save and invest first, pay my bills next, and live off of what's left is my key to unlocking financial freedom and becoming a 9-to-5 millionaire. If you would like to know how I went from broke to becoming a future millionaire and get my exact step-by-step framework so you can do the same, then watch this video next and I'll see you there.